Is it the wise man or is it the fool who moves beyond the tidal pool? We watched those buildings fall. Number 7, she's forgotten, but some of us did see. We may say the earth is flat, we may say Darwin's heart was rotten, but the mind of Christ still thinks cosmically. You know the heart of Christ, she still beats constantly. There's a lady keeping watch on the swimmers out there. There's an ocean full of reasons we should all be scared. Deeper power, deeper love.
But those blues guys weren't Buddhists that said, hey, let's go make music. You know?
Right. Yes, we're talking about the influence of Buddhism on the blues.
Yes.
So there was no real Buddhist presence here in the Americas during the formation
right.
of the blues.
So it's
yes.
the unconscious influence of Buddhism on the blues. Because the blues guys were not conscious of Buddhism's influence.
Right.
Until Buddha came and said, hey, got you, man.
Today on Travelin' Trav's Transrational Blues, we'll be discussing the influence of Buddhism on the blues. If you are one of those dear, sick, hurting, broken ones like myself, one of those who bought into fundamentalist Christianity because you were so broken and wanted to belong so much and felt so alone, isolated, and alienated, well, then you may have an interest in my work. What do we do when our feelings are at the most hurt, when we feel the most insulted, when we look at everyone and see what's really going on? If you've been following my work, then you may be familiar with labor and the expression of worth, which is simply another way of describing the courage that it takes to align our efforts or our work with what we know to have the deepest value. We live in a culture that is permeated by Judeo-Christian religious values. Therefore, even if you are an anti-theist or an atheist or against religion, your very being is still permeated by by the erroneous metaphysical constructs. It's important that we understand our metaphysical constructs that are born from the stories that we say we believe. And then especially the metaphysical constructs that arise when we say we don't believe. If you are one of those dear, sick, hurting, broken ones like myself, one of those who bought into fundamentalist Christianity because you were so broken and wanted to belong so much and felt so alone, isolated, and alienated, well, then you may have an interest in my work. If you, like myself, have been hovering at the edge of the observable universe, expanding your rational mind, maybe you, like me, have had that cosmic melon baller just scraping out all the nonsense, all the silly superstitions and religious foolery, then yes, you may be interested in my work. For-profit prison systems and for-profit war. What do we do when we see ourselves like this?
I am the Father, I am the Son, I am the one who dries those nails. I am the ocean, I am the risen one. You know, our love, she never fails. Ooh, you know, our love, she never fails. rise up. Deeper power, deeper love.
If we are going to profess to be beings of spirit, then what is the most important question? It's brutal. It's terrible. I mean, the idea, Jesus is the one who got down to the nitty-gritty of life in answering this question. What will you do when you are nailed to a cross? When you are isolated, alienated, rejected, when you are misunderstood, what will your response be? Is your love deep enough to forgive? Is your compassion, is your intelligence great enough to look at the hurting people and say, I see, I understand, I see how suffering you are, and I forgive you, I love you. Thank God I do not have to participate in that dark, painful religion of hate. What do we do when our feelings are at the most hurt, when we feel the most insulted, when we look at everyone and see what's really going on, when we look at our family of origin and we see what we were born into? What do we do when we see the hurtful nature of the world that we were born into, for-profit prison systems and for-profit war? What do we do when we see ourselves like this?
Engines losing power, looking for a place to sit down. Man of the hour, tomorrow he wears that thorny crown. The sky darkened and the moon will bend our will. They're in the eye of the hurricane. You are always still.
When we finally see how we've been cutting our teeth on lies, we've been lied to so deeply. The people that said they loved us lied, and they didn't even know they were lying. And neither did we know that we were lying to ourselves all this time. We have to face that. If we other the liars, then we've only made a liar out of ourselves again.
I am humbled, I am broke. I gave myself away by mirror and by smoke. Gospel man with feet of clay, I gave myself away. I gave myself away. I gave myself away. I gave myself away. Mountains move beneath my hand. The earth and sky obey my every command. Breathing underneath the waves, I gave myself away. I gave myself away. Rise up. Deeper power, deeper love.
The God nature is the non-binary nature, the non-dual nature. I am not separate from you. Forgiveness is the realization of that oneness. Forgiveness is the realization that we are not separate. I love you.
God is heart, got is cold. I felt the Spirit give me meek and give me bold. Naked is the way I came, so I give myself away.
Forgiveness is a choice that I make to rise above my own deceptive nature. Forgiveness is the choice that I make to see myself in you, to understand that I'm not separate from you.
Rise up, deeper power, deeper love. Deeper power, deeper love. I am the Father, I am the Son, I am the one who drives those nails. I am the ocean, I am the risen one. You know our love, she never fails. You know our love, she never fails. We watched those buildings fall. Number 7, she's forgotten, but some of us did see. We may say the earth is flat, we may say Darwin's heart was rotten, but the mind of Christ still thinks cosmically. You know the heart of Christ, she still beats constantly. Oh God, forgive her. She knows not what she does. She's sick, she's broken, she is sad. The bride of Christ is lonely, heaped there on the floor, thirsty for a drink she never had. We raised our hands, we spoke in tongues, our bodies shook for our salvation. Pure healings born deep in shadow lands, along with those academic incantations. They say most shark attacks happen in about 3 feet of water. But that's not what I told my daughter when she asked about the dangers out there. I told her there's no reason to be scared. Come on in, the water's nice and cool. Is it the wise man or is it the fool who moves beyond the tidal pool? There's a beach full of folks on a partly cloudy day. Some are waiting in the shallows, some are surfing the waves. There's a lady keeping watch on the swimmers out there. There's an ocean full of reasons we should all be scared. Because the oceans might swell and the land might sink. We may not have enough water for everyone to drink. There's scarcely a difference between the fool and the wise. I think you already knew. Please don't look so surprised. So go ahead, dive in while you still got the chance. Just don't let those breakers pull off your pants. We all know the reason that we all take our chances with ourselves and the ones we love the most. The reason lies beyond the reach of most practicality. But you gotta jump in the water to see, you see. Dive into, the uncertainty. Is it the wise man or is it the fool who moves beyond the tidal pool? Breathe, daughter, breathe. So grateful for all the lessons I got from my daughters. My daddy said he liked to put a bullet in my head. He liked to kill my mama too. He says, son, you are the reason I suffer like I do. Oh, can't you see I love you? Oh, son, I love you. We dangle our feet to be seen from down below, although we know there may be predators down there. There are so many reasons not to go in. There are poisonous creatures and that dreaded dorsal fin. Yes, there's always a chance that the worst could occur. Not even the fool can deny. Those horrible teeth might rush up from down below, big enough to swallow you